Okay, hello there, I'm Dennis. Welcome to the channel. What we see on the right of your screen there is the current top resource monitor. And right now with OBS running, I'm running 998 megabytes. Here, what you see in here is a screenshot I took when it first booted up. I opened up top and I took a screenshot of it. And here, under fresh boot, it was running 614. So let me close that out. Go ahead and close that out. Clear it. And this is Linux Mint 20.3. And I believe the version is uname. All right, so one of the first tests that you need to check out when you're installing an operating system is, can you easily plug in a USB drive and it be recognized? So I have three of them set up here in various file formats: FAT32, ext4, and Ntfs. So right now the FAT32 is loaded. Ready. Let me go ahead and stick that in, and you see it picks it up right off. That's nice. And in here I've got a note that I want to go by and see what we got on comparison, so that I don't mess it up too bad. See, what did that run? 614 1614 megabytes on fresh boot. All right, so that's that usage. And when I close, we'll check it again and see what we come up with. And let's see, this is still the picture. Close that out. Bring up a terminal. And let's see, uname. Oops. Reveals that we're running the Linux 5.40 kernel. I'll copy that. Kernel here. Whoops, what did I just do? Somehow I opened up a new document. So Linux Mint is running 5.4.0 kernel. Neofetch, which I think I just run that. Linux Mint 2013, or 20.3 I should say. Sorry. The way I'm going to make this comparison is, I've got Linux Mint installed on one of my work machines, but this is a hard drive and it's on this computer, and I'm going to pull this hard drive out and I'm going to stick in the Linux Mint Debian edition when I get that far. So let's see what we got here. Neofetch. Let's see what audio server we're using. And we can do that with inxi with a capital A. And it says that we're using ALSA. And I do not see Pulse Audio or Pipewire, so strictly ALSA. Well, we do have the Sound HDA Intel driver, which is the important part. And it's picking up the USB device from the microphone. So this is ALSA, the sound server. Copy and paste that over. See if that changes. Let's save that under package management. Okay, so they both use APT, and Linux Mint does come with Synaptic package manager. It also comes with the software manager, and flatpaks are enabled by default. And this is their software manager, Mint install 809. So let me see if I can copy that. And that's on the software manager. Version is 8.09. All right, so mounting various drives. Okay, let me close out of this. Like I said, flatpaks are installed or readily available. Let's see, go flatpak list, and we should see Kdenlive, which I installed as a flatpak. The rest of this stuff came in with some other application, probably flatpaks themselves. All right, so we got Audacity. Oh no, I'll plug in the various drives. So I'm gonna close out of this. Well, eject this. And that's a FAT32. We'll pull that out of the system. You may have just heard it. And now we'll check the ext4. See if that'll load. Give it a second. I hear it. And there it is. Nothing on it. Okay. So we got FAT32 as well as ext4. And I'm going to try the Ntfs, which is a Windows file system, if you didn't know. Probably do. And it seems to be taking... Oh, I got to turn it on. There it is. Ntfs file system. Now, to verify that, just out of curiosity, let's go to disk here, open that up, and right here it says Ntfs. All right, let me get rid of that. And we're going to plug the FAT32 back in, which I just heard it. And we'll open the notes back up. And let's see. So mounting disk, we had no problem with a FAT32. We had no problem with a period ext4. And we had no problem with Ntfs in Linux Mint. Okay, Audacity. I think I've got a video file here that we can open up. See, Audacity, got it in my favorites there. Let's open it up. And this is version 233. All right, let's see if I can find a video file. There's an audio file. Let's open that up right there. That's a wave. Opened it up, played it. Let's close that. Nope, don't save it. Let's see if I got a video file on here. Import audio, speech dispatcher, videos, snapshots. There's one. I don't know what it is. Let's open it up. And may not be no audio on it. There it is. 9 minutes worth.
Okay, hello there.
There we go. So Audacity works importing a video file as well as a wave. That's nice. Kdenlive, like I said, I installed that using the flatpak. Is it going to open? Didn't even try to open. There we go. 22.04.1. And I do believe that's the latest version of Kdenlive. It sure is thinking about it. Cut. Here we go. Okay. So let me just add a clip or a folder. We're still in that same. Let's cancel that. Fine. It crashed on me. Mark that in my notes. I have not had that problem with Linux Mint on my work machine. Add clip or a folder. 8 minutes, maybe. It crashed. So that's a problem. I'm gonna have to figure out what's happening with that. It may be something simple. I'm not sure. And this is the first time I've actually opened it up. So it came with the dark mode and all of this stuff over here. And I'm pretty sure I could probably get it to work. And even if the flatpak doesn't work like I want it to, I still have the option of installing it from the regular repository, which I may have to do. I don't know. Let's see. I got Krita. And System Monitor was installed by default. This is Krita 4.2.9. And I know this works. Krita, I like Krita. So back to my notes here. Let's see. Kdenlive flatpak needs work. Not sure. Have no idea really. I should have opened it up before. Okay, now this was kind of silly, the game controller. Let me get it over here. Right now I have plugged in a Synaptic gamepad, game controller, and I plugged it in, and one of the test things is it has to work, be recognized by a game, and I'm going to bring up Super Text Cart. It's going to be in full screen. I've already played this. This Synaptic, I might add, is, let's see, there go the controls, and there it is right there. There's the Synaptic PLC Synaptic 2500 Rumble Force Pad. All right. Plug out of that. So it does recognize that. And I do have a joystick, a Logitech joystick. It recognizes that as well, but I figured the game controller being a lot older, I think I got this pre-2005, around 2002, I want to say. I might be wrong. Okay, so it does recognize the game controller. Check. Save. All right. Now, firewall, or does it not have a firewall, or does it have a firewall? Linux Mint. Let's open up the control panel or system settings, and we'll find a firewall. So, one thing, let's look in here. I want to show that driver manager. So it does have a way to install drivers if you need them, and it's looking for anything that I might need a driver for. For instance, NVIDIA driver or some other Athlon, ATI, some other card. And you would have done this during the welcome screen. I'm going to go ahead and just cancel off of that because I know it don't need it. So that's a plus. Not only do we have that, but we have the firewall. And I want to run a Lynis security. So let's enable the firewall. Since it's there. Uh-oh. There we go. It's already running. Said it was already running, or the authentication was running. So let's turn the firewall on. And we'll go ahead and minimize this, and we'll bring up a terminal. Let's see. I don't think Linus is going to be installed. It is not, but it gives you the directions on how to get it if we need it. We'll copy and paste that into the terminal. And do I want to continue with the installation? I do. And this shouldn't take but a minute, or not even really that long. Waiting for headers. Both the Linux Mint and the LMDE did kernel updates this morning. I wanted to make sure everything was up to date before I started a video about it. Started actually using it. So this is Linux Mint. Alright, Control L will clear that screen. Now we should be able to go sudo Linus audit system, I believe. There we go. The main thing I'm going to be looking at here is just the score. But other things, since this is on a temporary hard drive, I'm not going to worry about it. I've done some things into my Linux Mint that's installed on my work machine, one of the work machines, to increase my security. Okay, let's see what we scored. 59. We'll copy that over here. Hardening index 59. We'll save that. And I think that's about the end of my notes. Plugins enabled. That's because I got that. Yep. So, like I said, I'm not going to really go through the Linus. That wasn't the what I needed to do there. What I wanted to do was just simply show the score, and there it is. It scored a 59 on the hardening index. Did I do anything else that I want to look at? Okay. One thing that I did notice, and this will be a major thing for a new to Linux user, a couple things really. I'm going to go ahead and bring up a web browser while I'm talking about it. The software or software manager, Mint install, actually listed in Linux Mint, it actually listed VirtualBox. Now here it's going to show it, it's there and it's installed. But when I first opened up the software manager here, it was actually one of these icons right here. So it was that very easy to install it. And did I open up the VirtualBox? Nope. See if I can. And let's see, go to preferences, extensions. You'll see we've got the Oracle VM VirtualBox extension pack, and as well as the VNC extension pack. The VNC was available in the software manager, and the extension pack, I downloaded it and installed it here with VirtualBox. So let's just go to Linux Mint Debian Edition. And here use what I'm going to call their home page. It says Linux Mint Debian Edition, but it's not linuxmint.com. It's linuxmint.com download _LMDE.php. If you click on the download button right here, you'll see most people, myself included, the first couple times are like, what the heck is going on here? I'd click this, and then when I would look at the ISO, it was Linux Mint 20.3. And even says recommended for some reason. I'm not sure why, but it does. And so the tendency is going to be to go straight down and click on that. But if you're looking for Linux Mint Debian Edition 5, click here. And then you'll have your options to download. So let me go back here so I'm at the same page. So if you just look at this, you're, like I said, you think you're on Linux Mint Debian Edition, and you are. But if you go up here and click on Linux Mint, all of a sudden now you're not in Linux Mint Debian Edition. You're back over at Linux Mint, the Ubuntu Debian based. So it is very confusing, and I'm not sure if it's intentionally confusing like that. I don't get it. I don't know. So here you can see the versions that they have. The Cinnamon, which is what we're looking at here. Or actually, this is Linux Mint Debian Edition, and we will be looking at the Cinnamon version. So that's a little confusing. And I found it confusing. All right, so I'm gonna stop here. Let's see, we got to run top. Let's see what we're at closing. Keeping in mind that OBS Studio is still running. Okay, so we're running a gig here. Let's see if I can copy that. Nope. 1089, I'll just say. 1089. At closing. So a little over a gig. Just out of curiosity, let me bring up their system monitor and see what it says. They're saying 1.7 gigs. However, system monitor is using part of that. So that's part of it right there. So let me save this. We'll close out and I'll come back and I'll be in Linux Mint Debian edition. Okay, so we're on the Linux Mint Debian edition. I just got OBS going, and before I did anything, I cranked up top, and it was running 716 megabytes. Get this where I want it better. All right, so let's just quit that and clear the screen and say uname hyphen, and we get the Linux kernel right here of 510. So we get a newer kernel in the Debian edition. Slide that over to there. That's kind of neat. That's interesting. All right, so let's run Ntfs. And you can see this is the Linux Mint Debian Edition 5 Elsie. And this is the same exact computer that we just did this other demonstration on. Package management. Close that out. Package management. It still uses APT. It comes with the software manager, software manager. If you'll look, I'll type in VirtualBox only because I want you to see that it is there, but it's not there by default. I had to include a PPA to install. I was wondering if I could show that in here. No, at least not easily. I do have that in notes though. I thought. Document. Yep. In order to install VirtualBox in Linux Mint Debian Edition, I had to I followed this guide right here, and you're basically adding here's the guide, I'm sorry, Linux capable VirtualBox. Run the wget command, then you echo this into the apt list, the VirtualBox list. Then you run a update and install VirtualBox. Okay, then add yourself to the VBox users group and groups. So it wasn't just as easy as finding it in the software system, software manager, and installing it from there. But it's installable and it's here and it does work. Bring it up. And let's see what kind of extensions we got here. We only have the one, and this is the one that I downloaded off of the VirtualBox website and then installed it right here. Click on Add New, and that's how I installed it. But the other, the VNC, apparently is not available readily. I could probably find it, I just haven't. I tell you, I'm really hard pressed to find a lot of differences in Linux Mint and Linux Mint Debian Edition. All right, so the next thing is the mounting of the hard drive. And the first one we're going to get is the ext4. And it's already mounted the FAT32. It's already mounted the FAT32. I'll just leave it there. And here it is, ext4. So it mounted that rather quickly. Get rid of it. Eject. Pull it out. Now let's, the important one for a lot of people, Ntfs. And let's see if it recognizes that right off the bat. Ntfs, once again, we'll open up GNOME disk. Actually, could do it a different way as well. Here, let's do it in the terminal. And let's go, let's see, df hyphen capital T8. It'll tell us the file system. Not seeing it here. Unless that's SDC1, it's calling it a fuse block. Let's see something else. Go to accessories, open up disk, highlight the disk, and it's Ntfs. So it mounted that right off the bat, no problems. So that's a big plus for Linux Mint and Linux Mint Debian Edition. So I'm just going to copy that. Put it in the right spot here. Save it. All right, game controller. It's still plugged in. Go find my game. And I don't think I even have to pick it up for us to see that it's there. Go to options, controls. There it is. Cytec PLC Cytec P2500 Rumble Force Pad. And plenty of volume. So that's a big check. Okay, let's save that. All right, so for the firewall, let's see if there's a firewall. First, let me type in driver, and you'll see there's nothing listed under driver. No driver update like there was in Linux Mint, and it's just not available. Let's see, I wanted to go to settings, and in the control panel is where Linux Mint stores theirs as well as the start menu, but it's not here. And it's not going to be here. Although, plus, it does have a firewall. Let me open that. All right, I'm going to do it one more time. Kept trying to open. All right, let's engage that. And close it out. So now we have the firewall running. Let's bring up a terminal. And I can't remember if I installed Lynis yet or not. Lynis not found, but can be installed. Sudo app. Let's install it. And we're going to run it. Yes, I'd like to continue. I was going to say, I'd be really hard pressed to find a differences. I was hard pressed to find differences in between Debian, Linux Mint Debian Edition and Linux Mint. Oops. All right, so this is code name Bullseye Debian. I meant to bring this up in the other one as well, but I didn't in the Mint. The other one, Linux Mint, when you run it, it'll say Ubuntu right here. So let's see if Linus is installed. It is. So let's go sudo Linus. Let's audit the system. And there we go. Let's see what kind of score we get here. It surprised me if it was any different. But it will be different, I'm sure. So that wouldn't surprise me, would it? Whoops. All right, Linus, doing your thing. It's an issue. It's an issue.net. This sometimes takes just a minute right here. I was concerned about running Linux Mint to start with because it is based on Ubuntu. Let's see what we score here. 58. So this scored actually one better than Linux Mint did. Not sure where the differences is because that's not in the scope of this video. But I could go through here, and I will caution anybody that's going to use Linus and try to correct everything that it finds that you could make an exception to. Careful. Go through them one at a time and make sure you understand what's happening before. One thing I know I messed up with, let's see, or passed over. There we go. We're using the same thing for the audio audio defaults. Let's see. Sound server is ALSA. ALSA K5 10. So we're getting a little bit newer version again in Linux Mint Debian Edition than we are in the Ubuntu. Now that does surprise me. It really does. Actually, there we go. Now you can see it's lined up. Yep, here we got version K5.10. There we had K5.4. So a little newer version. Here, though, it said generic. This one's actually specifying AMD 64. And again, picking up my audio device. Okay, so again, the website and getting confused is easy to do. Take your time. And, you can get them, but I don't know why it's so confusing. If you click on the header of somebody's homepage, it ought to open up their homepage. It ought not take you over to another distribution altogether, in my opinion. Altogether, though. Let's see, did I do that? No, I didn't. Apparently, I passed right over some stuff. Let's do this again. So, there's what we got. Right here. Is Linux Mint, LMDE 5, codename Elsie, versus Linux Mint 20. And I believe that's UMA. Power management was identical. One thing you will see, which was a surprise, bring up the software center again, software manager, go right here to about, and it's 8.10. So we get a newer version in LMDE as opposed to Linux Mint. Save that. Mounting, we did that. That all worked flawlessly. Audacity, let's see what we got here. Can't remember if I got anything on this computer that I can open up. Yep, something. I don't know what. Let's open up Audacity. Why isn't it in my favorites right there? There it is. Under Kdenlive. All right. About it. This is version 2.4.2, which, if I'm not mistaken, this is in Linux Mint, it was 2.3.2. I'm not sure. I should have made note of it, but I didn't. All right, so let's import an audio file. Let's see, you got one of my videos, I said. Let's open that up. It's an MKV. No problems. Okay, so volume works out of the box. Let's quit that one. Close that one. Oh, save it. And I don't know if there's a other kind of file in here or not. Oops. Wrong click. Import audio, not labels. Where would it be? Huh. I don't have a wave on here. My bad. I should have planned a little better. Nothing. Documents. Nothing. Okay. So you gotta assume that it works on importing a .mkv and ripping the audio out of it. You gotta think that it's gonna work with the MP3 or wave or .ogg, what have you. Let's close that out. Let's go open up Kdenlive. Okay, once again, is it gonna open? 22.04.1. I think that's the exact same version we got. Also, while that's opening. So yeah, Kdenlive is a flatpak as well. That's the reason why they were both the same. Add clipper folder. Transcode it. At least it I started to say, at least it didn't crash. Wow. So, Kdenlive on Linux Mint and Linux Mint Debian Edition apparently needs something. Add clipper folder. See. Wait a minute. Here's one. Movable. Should be one right here. Right there. Okay. Continue. Oh, so it opened that up fine. I'm not sure what the difference was. One may not be complete. And we do have the audio wave file. That's a plus. What we see, there we do. We have all audio. Very nice. So it does work here, and I should have chosen a different file in Kdenlive on the other one. I don't know what the deal was, but it definitely worked here. So let me write that down. Worked with the exclamation point. Game controller, that worked, and security. So Linux Mint Debian Edition came out one grade actually worse. Hardening index was 58. Ideally, you'd want 100. You'll never get it, but you would want it. And so Linux Mint actually beat out Linux Mint Debian Edition. Both firewalls were running. And that should do it for this video. But like I said, if you're looking for Linux Mint Debian Edition, be careful. Guide your mouse in the right direction in order to make that download. It's confusing. I'm not sure why it's like that, but it is definitely confusing. Yep, please, let's save that. See what we got for a graphic. It won't show it that way. Graphic driver i9-15 ALSA. Neither one of them are using pulse audio or pipewire. That could be a plus or a minus. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. This is a comparison of Linux Mint and Linux Mint Debian Edition. Unless you run some commands in a terminal searching, you'll be hard pressed to find some differences. There are some, like the VirtualBox not available. You have to do over. So far, I haven't been able to get a program called DVD Styler installed on LMDE. It installs right off the bat in Linux Mint. So there are going to be some differences. If you'll go to distrowatch.com, you'll see that Linux Mint Debian Edition is based on Debian, but the Linux Mint is based on Ubuntu and Debian. They're so very close. It's really tough. If something happens and I bork my Linux Mint machine, the next operating system on it may be Linux Mint Debian Edition. And I don't know about the drivers. Like I said, I showed you in Linux Mint, the driver updater is available, but it's not here. And I don't know why, because you would think that would be important to get right. Another thing, I looked at Linux Mint Debian Edition a couple years ago, and if I remember right, if you open up an item and you go over here and right click on it, it did not have the uninstall option. Linux Mint, on the other hand, has had it ever since I've installed Linux Mint. But now I see that it's available here in Linux Mint Debian Edition. And that's another big plus. That, to me, this is one of the greatest options available to a user with any kind of Linux. Right click on it and say uninstall. If I'm not mistaken, that option was available in, I ain't even gonna say it. I think it used to be available in that other operating system. Peace out, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.